Hello everybody, this is Zephyr and we are back with PHP and MySQL tutorials, and this is tutorial number 4. I promised that in this tutorial we're gonna create some tables in our database, but before I do that, let me advise you to always comment your code. In case when the code gets too long, you will have to comment it so that you understand that, okay, this branch of code represents this, and this part of code represents that. So here I'm gonna do double quotes, double forward slash. So 1 2. If you just do one, this won't work because it will not recognize it as a comment. So you do double forward slash. So these are what we call arguments, and then this is our connection string, and then this is check connection. So whenever your code is getting too long, you will understand that, okay, these are arguments, and then this is a connection string. So now as we are going further, you are going to understand what this part of code represents. So now let's go to our dashboard, whereby we are going to create tables inside the tutorial database. So I'm gonna think of something like maybe let's use cities. We are going to create a citizenship database, or a citizen database. So we create city and then go. I haven't dwelled much on, okay, let me go back. I haven't dwelled much on number of columns yet, because if you know the number of columns, then you can write here. So let's say the city table will have city ID, and then it will have city name, and then it will have city population, and then a city code, and then I think maybe city zip code. Of course, when I say city code, and then postal code, something like that. So let's create 5 columns and then click go. So I've said the first thing is city ID, and then the second thing is city name, and then the third thing is city population, and then the other thing is city code, I think the other one was city zip, or I can say postal code. So these are the names of our columns. Now, what type of column do we need to have? The city ID, always the ID takes the int, which is the integer. It takes the integer. I think for you to understand a little bit more, you will have to go through SQL, and I've given you where you can get the information. You can get information from W3 tutorials. You can also get tutorials from YouTube. So for you to understand the type of information, or the type of data which you have to put into your tables, you will have to understand, because we have integer, you have got value character, we have got text, we have got date. Yes, so for us, the city ID, the ID always carries the int, and then it is always auto incremented. So we go on AI, auto increment. So you do that, and automatically it becomes a primary. And then sorry for that, I think I've just clicked this somewhere. Okay, so I have to city Yeah, sorry, I went back before I saved this, so it gave me that error. So now once you've no, it did not give me an error, but it cleared everything. So once you have done the auto increment, you will have to go now here. So here we don't have to use int, we'll use varchar, value character. So it's a variable length string. The effective maximum length is subject to the maximum row size. So we select varchar and then we put our maximum. It can be 255 because 255 characters, they are long. In I don't think there is a city name which is longer than 255 characters. So you put 255, and here as well you do the same, 255, and then here you also do the same, 255. And then once you are done, you create you save the table. So you can preview the this, because it will give you an SQL code. So this is our SQL code, create table tutorial up to the end here. So this is our SQL, but we are using the GUI part. But if you want to use here, if you want to use it, because you can copy this and you paste it there, it will create the table. So we will dwell much more into this later on, but for now let us leave it as it is. So we save it. Yeah, now we are done. So you see city ID, it's this is the primary key, and we are going to also to explain more about keys as we go along. And then you have got city name, city population, city code, and city postal code. So let us insert data into this table. So how do we do that? We can go here, insert. So if you go to browse, you'll see that the table is blank. You see that the table is blank. There's nothing here. There's nothing, right? So if you go to insert, we'll insert the city name. So city name first is Blantyre, and then population we say maybe 87,000. Okay, I think this is too low, but I can say 567,000 individuals, 567,000 individuals. And then code should be BT, and then postal code we can say maybe 34125 152, and then we save. So we have this information. Now you can see this is the SQL code, right? This is the SQL code. If we want to add values using the same query, we can just change here. We can put Zomba, let's say Zomba, and then we say this is maybe 234,876, and then we say ZA or ZB, and then this can be maybe 31, right? And VA can be 236. So we click go. We've added it. So we have two rows. We can browse it, and then here we go. Now you can see that we have got city ID, which is 1, 2, city name, Blantyre, Zomba, city population. This is the population, and then city code, and this is the code, and then this is the city, postal code. So as you can see, you can insert data straight away in the server, but this is not effective, because when you are creating a system, you are giving the system to the to people who don't understand this. So they don't understand this. What they understand are forms. So you'll create forms for them, and then those forms are going to be used to insert data into the tables. So let us create a form in the upcoming lesson. I hope you are enjoying this. If you have got any query, if you have got any comment, if you have got any question, please drop them down there. You are welcome.